Hey, it's Landon Collins from Washington Redskins. You watching
MUT.
Frost? Stay frosty. Do your thing. Hell to the Redskins.
What's up, guys? It's the director and the Trumpetmonkey. Trumpetmonkey's not here today, guys. It's a busy weekend, guys. Easter Sunday this past weekend. Had to push MUT Force a couple of days, but we're here and ready to go. Welcome to this Monday edition of MUT Force, you guys. So an awesome brand new opener for the MUT Force episode. Kind of cool stuff right there. We were able to land a Landon Collins for MUT Force. You'll be seeing him at the beginning of some of these MUT Force episodes. Guys, now we got Landon Collins, we got Hunter Henry, we got Corey Clement. It's looking to be like a nice little variety of NFL players helping out the show here. So Trumpetmonkey, you'll be here in spirit. But we do have a little bit of things to cover today in this episode of MUT Force. MUT Force this week, there's a bit of a lack of content. We'll talk about some stuff that's up and coming, things that we think are going to drop in the near future. With the upcoming draft promo incoming as well. We're not going to do any custom card art for that because we honestly have no idea where these new rookies are going to come in, which teams are going to land with. We just saw some news this morning that the Raiders might do something crazy and draft some rando at the number 4 spot. So kind of crazy to think there. Maybe the Raiders, Will Greer, some weird quarterback at pick number 4. They said it would surprise us. So we'll have to see there. As far as Madden is concerned, again, we had a bit of a lack of content this week, but Madden's funny the way it works. When we have a lack of content one week, it usually means that there's something big coming that weekend. And this last weekend, the legends were like subpar. We got a few of those color smash players, and that was it. So I'm thinking they're saving a lot of that bulk content for this weekend with the NFL draft coming up on Thursday, which is super exciting, guys. Now, first off, I wanted to ask you guys, who do you think your team is taking in the NFL draft? Post your pick number or your team pick number and prediction in the comment section below. See if we can get some predictions right here on MUT Force. So Thursday, the draft is coming up. I did want to talk a little bit about last week's Legends too. I should say the week prior to that, since we're a little bit late this week on MUT Force. Randy Moss. Now, Randy Moss is a special card, guys. I may go to the wide here in just a second and show you guys why. This card, as you guys know, Randy Moss is just, we have a term in Madden called the guy mossed me, or I just got mossed, and it all comes down to this card right here. Ultimate Legends Randy Moss is the epitome of what wide receivers can accomplish in any given Madden in any given year. Like every single year, Randy Moss is the guy to own. Now, there are some years where there's some other wide receivers that have different traits or different, statistics that make them different than Randy Moss. Randy Moss will always be great. So like a Randy Carmichael. Harold Carmichael. Harold Carmichael was unique in the aspect that he was 6'8", 6'9", somewhere around there, and he just had the ultimate red zone ability when it came to that. But Randy Moss has that as well. Let's go to the wide here for just a second. There's that Randy Moss. 99s across the board, really, like an absolutely stupendous card. I picked him up for my team. Until the Chargers maybe get like a Mike Williams, I'll probably keep Randy Moss. Or once we get a Mike Williams, I'll probably put Keenan and Mike out wide and then throw Randy Moss in at maybe the slot receiver, something like that. But for right now, that is what we're looking at. So pretty good. If you guys haven't tried Randy Moss yet, a huge thing happened this weekend, and that was the Easter eggs. Easter eggs dropped, and it turned out there were a lot of Ultimate Legend packs, 97 pluses, opened over the weekend. That's huge. The market took a tremendous dip. So guys like Randy Moss, I haven't checked his price as of late, but he should be lower than he was a couple of weeks ago. A lot of guys should be lower. So we're in a buyer's market right now, and things may be even going lower after this weekend. Okay, so if you guys haven't tried out Randy Moss, highly recommend doing so. He has won me games single-handedly many times. All right, let's move on here, guys. Let's take a look at the Color Smash stuff that we got over the weekend. Color Smash has been a hit or miss for a lot of the community as of late. Color Smash, of course, being the Easter promo. Easter came and went this last Sunday, And there was a lot of teams that, you know, they got help where it was needed. A lot of players were dropped, but I think the community wasn't as amped about it because it was drip fed. Drip fed meaning like they released, you know, tiny tidbits here and there. And then the limiteds, if you guys remember, let's see if we can take a look at the limited AJ Green here. Now there's the limited isn't listed right there. All right, they didn't list it on the front page of MUT. We'll just look at this one for instance. There was a limited AJ Green put into the game this past Sunday. I think it's still on today, and he quick sold for 300,000 coins. Okay, and that's the limiteds that we got throughout this promo. We got 97s that quick sold for 300,000 and 94s that quick sold for 150,000. There was an upside to AJ Green, however. If you guys remember my video yesterday, I posted it as soon as I could, as soon as I found out about the pull rate of AJ Green. If you hit the 97 player pack in the store via picks, we had like a 1 in 8 chance of grabbing that limited edition AJ Green. And I myself pulled like 7 limited edition AJ Greens and helped the coin stack quite a bit. Went from 400,000 coins to 1.7 million. So that'll really help with the content later down the stretch. Now that was a good aspect of the limited edition AJ Green. Had he been 500,000 coins, a lot of people would have made out like bandits yesterday. The problem is, when you see limited edition cards, a lot of people raise their standards as far as what they want to see from those cards. So if you raise your standards for limited edition, I don't think a lot of people are expecting the same exact card, different card art, and a slightly okay quick sell value. Because if you guys think about it, the normal AJ Green was going for 200K, so technically you were making an extra 100K off of a limited time pool. Limited time pulls shouldn't be taken lightly too. Although we pulled a lot of AJ Greens yesterday because of, you know, it just turned out the way with how many 97s were in the game for that promo. The pull rate was a little bit higher, but for the most part, limited editions are kind of a highly coveted thing to pull in Madden 19. So to see the 300,000 mark on it, you know, it's not great. It's just slightly better than pulling the actual AJ Green. Was okay. A lot of us did make out with a lot of coins because when you pulled that AJ Green, you had 300,000 coins and then whatever picks you had left over. Does that make sense? So every time I pulled AJ Green, I'd still be left over with like 20,000 picks, and I just go buy, you know, 15,000 picks more and then do it again. So that's why a lot of people made a lot of coin over the weekend. Let's go over some of these cards from the Color Smash promo this week with the offense, including a banger charger that I did gameplay footage for. I'm sure you guys have seen that on the channel. Let's start with Laken Tomlinson. Another LT Tomlinson. Not as good, though. Budget squads and theme teams are going to be the only guys that really benefit from this sort of thing. Laken Tomlinson is not a great card, but he is an idiot overall, and he may fit on your squad. Left guard, I'm not sure who they have for the Niners, so maybe he was a need. Isaac Samwalo, 6'4" left guard for the Eagles. Again, I'm not sure who these guys have for their theme teams. When you're looking at guys this low, you're automatically thinking, okay, maybe he fits on a theme team. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I'm going to guess no, because the stats are just really, really bad on these 88s. There are some really good cards coming up, but these 88s, I mean, again, depth theme teams, that's about it. And then the budget squads, if you're looking for someone in that aspect. Awareness on this center is 89. Trumpetmonkey likes to reference that the center provides the awareness for your lowest overall starting lineman. So it takes that and replaces it for your lowest lineman. So having 89 awareness on your center and then another guy who is your other lowest is probably not the move right there. Mark Lewinsky, 6'4" right guard for the Indianapolis Colts. Strength at 90, awareness at 89, and then the rest of the stats are okay. Again, these guys, all of these linemen right here, really just take with a pinch of salt. Like, they're going to do their jobs, but they're not spectacularly great. Now, this guy right here, Wright Ellison. I saw a couple of guys in my clan that rock New York Giants theme teams, and this guy is actually looking pretty freaking good on their squads as their tight end 2. This guy is freaking amazing. 92 run block stock on an 88 tight end. You start this guy at tight end 2. He's going to secure that left side of the line with no problems, and then move him around a little bit too. He's providing an extra lineman in your lineup. And I'm not just talking Giants theme teams, guys. I'm talking any budget squads, even your head-to-head team. If you're just looking for a tight end 2 that can block, I think this is your guy. I run with, let's go to the wide here really quick to show you guys the value of having a good run-blocking tight end. Here's my Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry, as you can see, probably not in the bottom with Trumpetmonkey's face in the way. He's got 92 run block. Take my word on that. 92 run block on Hunter Henry has been tremendously helpful to my running attack on the ground. You guys take a look at my Melvin Gordon gameplay video from a couple of days ago. Hunter Henry was out there providing lanes for Melvin Gordon to absolutely tear up the field. If you guys watched that video, we put up 320 yards in one game, largely in part to our line is really good, but that extra blocking on the outside provides a lot of advantage for a lot of teams. So guys like Rhett Ellison, I'm very impressed with. He's got decent speed. The route running is where you're going to suffer a little bit, but I'm really looking at this guy as maybe like, you know, a fade guy, mainly a run blocking tight end. I'm a big fan of this Ellison tight end from the Giants. Next up, we got Seattle Seahawks CJ Prosise. I'll be honest, I haven't thought of CJ Prosise as a Seahawk for quite a while. Like, it's been a minute since Prosise has been in our radar for that team. 88 speed is okay. I would put him at a super depth position, maybe like third running back or something like that, because you guys got what? Chris Carson, beast mode, and then maybe CJ Prosise as your 3. At this stage of the game, if you have that Le'Veon Bell that has any team on it, I would just run him at 3. He gives you extra chemistries, and he's a pretty decent back at that as well. So this guy, hit or miss. I like the high catching on him, though. That's the one thing I'll say is pretty good. High catching, so a third down back kind of situational guy. Allen Hurns coming up next for the Cowboys. 90 speed at 6'3". You got to kind of pay attention to this card. Although he's not going to be able to get a lot of the speed advantage upgrades that you would see on a theme team, 90 speed is not a bad place to start. With Coach Madden and on a theme team, you can get him up to 94 speed. He's an okay slot guy, but I'm sure that the Cowboys theme teams have plenty of wide receivers at this point. Mari Cooper, T.O., you guys got a lot of options there. So maybe he is your slot receiver guy. Maybe he's a 4. At any rate, it's not a bad card to throw out there. Albert Wilson, another wide receiver coming in for the Dolphins this time. 5'9", 91 speed. Again, on a theme team, add 4 speed, I suppose. So 95 speed on this guy isn't too bad. The route running is okay. He's a subpar guy, especially at 5'9". Throw him in the slot every now and then, but he's not going to see the field for a lot of dudes. I'm even on a theme team. Now we're getting to the 94s. This is where things get interesting. Chase Roulier, I'm hoping I'm saying that right. For the Redskins, you guys got yourself a center in the game now. Awareness at 93, which is a little bit lower than I'd like to see. But all of the pass blocking and run blocking actually isn't too bad, especially on a Redskins theme team. He's pretty good. Add that to the fact you can throw like secure pass blocker or something on him. I think he'll serve you guys just fine. On a budget theme team or on a budget squad, I'd say he's okay. Wait until after the promo is over if you want this guy specifically, because he's still going to be going for a lot of coin because he's worth quite a bit of picks. Next up, we got Jack Conklin. I'll be honest, I was hoping Jack Conklin would end up on the Chargers. I think he was already signed, which is kind of funny. I don't think he's a Titan anymore. I'll be looking that up while we're taking a look. Let's see, Jack Conklin. Let's take a look at his stats while this is going in. 94 run block, 94 pass run block power, 94. So 94 is across the board for run, pass. And then run block across the board is 92, 89, 92. Awareness at 95 isn't bad. Let's see, Jack Conklin is a offensive tackle. Okay, so I guess he hasn't been signed yet. So Chargers, if you haven't signed Jack Conklin yet, I would say go ahead and grab this man. This is a fantastic card year in and year out. He's only a 94 this year, so I'm guessing he didn't have the best year last season in the NFL. But in Madden terms, I've really liked what I've seen from him. When you're looking at your tackles on the outside, guys, that's almost strictly for like pass protection. So Jack Conklin, although he's a 94 card, he's got pretty beefy stats on pass blocking, which is what you're going to want. You're going to want to boost that a little bit. Theme teams will be just fine with him. But I'm a big fan of that Jack Conklin card. I'm going to say on any budget squad, once his price goes down, I would take a look at him, see if he piques your interest. Next up, we got right guard, Trey Turner, 94 overall. I like this card quite a bit. Now, just as I said with the tackles, you're going to want a lot of pass protection on the outside. When it comes to guards and pulling guards specifically, you're going to want a lot of run blocking. The pass blocking is important, but it's not as important as your run blocking. So when you got a guy that's a 94 right guard or a guard in general in the NFL, you're going to want really good run blocking stats, which this guy does provide with really high awareness too. So again, these prices are going to be a little spiked right now because they're worth picks, but after this week, when the picks and stuff go away, take a look at this card because I think he's a sneaky good start for any budget squad, or even maybe especially on a theme team. Charles Clay coming up next, tight end for the Arizona Cardinals, 86 speed on this guy, 95 catch in traffic, 95 catch, 93 spec catch. This is a pretty decent tight end, guys, especially if you're running a theme team. Unfortunately, I don't think you can, if you're a Bills fan, for instance, I don't think you can go ahead and throw the Bills chemistry on him, but you can get this guy up into the lower 90 speed in the Cardinals theme team. And guys, the Cardinals have needed some help, theme team-wise, real NFL-wise, IRL-wise, like, it's been bad. I'm sorry, Cardinals. I'm a big fan of the Cardinals. They're only a few hours drive from where I am. And I don't really... Their team has been really bad this year. But this guy provides some solid run blocking. 73 may not seem like a lot, but it's okay. 86 speed is pretty good. And then the catch and traffic spec catch is very decent too. At 6'3", he'll make some plays for you. He's not great. He's not bad, but he exists. Damian Williams coming in. This guy really lit the league on fire when their starting running back, halfback number 25, was released from the Chiefs. 94 speed stock on this guy isn't bad. On a theme team, you can get him up to 98 speed, so he's a really good number 2, maybe even number 1 option, depending on your guys' starter for your team on the Chiefs. That's not a bad card. 71 catches okay. Break tackle at 93. Now, I want to talk about this for just a second, guys. Break tackle, to me, has become more and more of a relevant stat that you want to pay attention to. You'll see again, there's a card coming up. You guys know exactly what it is. Very, very good break tackle on that guy. I haven't seen in the entirety of my campaign on Madden 19 any halfback do what my new halfback has been doing for me with the high break tackle stat. Like some ridiculous things, dudes. So pay attention to that stat. Damian Williams, 93 isn't like top echelon, but it's definitely better than a lot of other running backs in the game. If you can boost that, I would definitely suggest trying it out. Robert Foster, 94 overall wide receiver. This is an excellent budget beast right here, guys. Wait for his price to come down, and then you've got yourself a 6'2", 96 speed wide receiver. Bills, you got yourselves a really, really good slot receiver. Maybe even outside guy, because on a Bills theme team, 99 speed easily. And on any other team, if you can put sprinter on these guys, you can get them to 99 speed fairly easily as well. So at this point in the year, getting 99 speed across your entire wide receiver core is actually very doable for almost any team, no matter the budget. Okay, I'm not going to say no matter the budget, but if you have $1 million coins to spend on just your wide receivers, maybe even 500,000 coins to spend on just your wide receivers, you can get 99 speed at every single position. Robert Foster, I'm curious to see some gameplay footage on this guy because his stats read really, really nice. The short route running is the only place I have a little bit of hesitancy at, but he's really nice with that 91 medium and 94 deep. So focus on getting that short route running up a little bit, and you guys got yourself a fantastic wide receiver on any team, really, especially budget squads, man. DeMar Dotson coming up next, right tackle for the Buccaneers. So he's got fantastic run blocking. Fantastic pass blocking, fantastic awareness. The strength is where he has a little bit of issue. I haven't tested the strength out quite as much in Madden 19, but I'm guessing that it's kind of a big deal because I've heard other YouTubers and people on Twitter saying that strength is probably something to pay attention to in Madden 19. The one issue I do have with this guy, because his stats all around look really freaking good, is that he is 6'9", and when you're looking at guys on your line that are maybe above 6'5", 6'6", you're going to see a lot more problems as far as gunslinger is concerned. Not everybody runs gunslinger, so maybe it's not a big deal. But let's say you have Drew Brees, who's like 5'10", trying to throw behind a 6'9" right tackle. He's probably going to hit that guy in the back of the head a couple of times throughout the game. So keep that in mind when it comes to super tall guards and tackles and centers, because especially with gunslinger guys, you're going to start hitting people in the back of the head. For the while, when I had Drew Brees, actually, I wanted to keep gunslinger on him because I noticed it helping me win games, but I had to be very selective of who I put on my offensive line. Guys, I was hoping to keep at 6'4" and lower, just to make sure I give myself as big of a chance of not throwing in the back of my lineman head as possible. But Dotson, especially on a theme team, you guys are looking end game for the rest of the year. Brandon Sheriff, We got a 97 right guard for the Redskins. You Redskins got a couple of good linemen this week. 94 strength, 97 awareness. Pass blocking looks fantastic. Run blocking looks even better. I'd say as far as right guards are concerned, maybe a Larry Allen is the only guy who's probably better in my mind right now, because this is a fantastic looking card. You can boost his pass blocking just a little bit, but his run blocking, I'm not sure if you can upgrade this guy, is absolutely great. Now I'm going to do something I don't like to do a lot on these MUT Force episodes because they take a second, but we're going to take a look at a live sneak peek at his speed. Speed at 73, lead block at 96. I would say this is probably one of the better guys to own if you like to pull your guards a little bit, because at 6'5" with that kind of speed, which 73 speed, if you guys are like, oh, that's too slow, no, that's perfect, guys. If you're looking at some, outside runs, pitches, this is probably the guy you're going to want to start at right guard. Especially on a theme team, like I'm one of those crazy people that put sprinter on everybody. So all of my guards, all of my linemen have sprinter on them, so they get that +2 speed just from that. So you're taking let's say you put him on a theme team and he gets +6 speed. You're looking at 79 speed on your pulling guard. Pay attention to this Brandon Sheriff, guys. I think he might be one of the sneaky best cards to play if you like to pull your guards. Like, that is absolutely ridiculous in my mind. Next up, we got Big Ben Roethlisberger. I have a lot of respect for Steelers fans that really highly request Big Ben. You would think that since Michael Vick spent a little bit of time in Pittsburgh, that it would be a no-question starter option for every Steelers theme team, and I'm guessing a lot of guys do run that way. But whenever I put together custom card art for the Steelers, Big Ben was always highly requested, and I can respect that. You got a guy that's in the NFL right now. You want to rep your team the proper way. I'm the same way. I've got Lamar Jackson, but every now and then I like to roll out with Phillip Rivers and really represent the Bolt squad as pure as possible. So when you're looking at a guy like Big Ben Roethlisberger, obviously he's not going to be as good as a mobile quarterback or a lot of other quarterback options at this point. But what you do get in Big Ben on a theme team, remember this, guys, he's not going to be useless as a mobile quarterback either. Add 7 speed to Big Ben, and you're looking at 82 speed at quarterback. And at quarterback, 82 speed is just enough speed to make some moves in the pocket, maybe escape, gain some yards on the ground. He's not going to be as good as a Lamar Jackson and Michael Vick, or not even close to those dudes, but he's getting up there. And I think he'll be absolutely serviceable for any theme team guy that wants to run him. Now, if you're looking at a guy like, let's say, Big Ben for your budget squad, maybe that's the move. He's hitting all the thresholds. He's got fantastic throw power. He'll be, one of the better pocket passers that you can pick up on a budget. But we just got an Ultimate Legend this weekend that would make me think maybe Big Ben is not the move. Like, he's got better speed than this other guy, but this other guy is the king of pocket passing. So if you're going that way, I would say there's better options. AJ Green, our hero for wide receiver, coming in from the Bengals. I think it's crazy that AJ Green hasn't gotten a card up until this point since his flashback card, which, if I remember right, was like a 90 or even a 91 overall card. He hasn't been usable in the game for the longest time, and unfortunately, he's going to remain that way for 90% of the MUT community. Unless you're running a Bengals theme team that's 50-50, he's not going to be able to hit 99 speed. He's just barely at that point where he can get to 99 speed. My Keenan Allen has the same speed as this card, and I was barely able to get him up to 99 with Team Chem and Sprinter and all that. He was finally able to get to 99 speed. That's what's going to take to make AJ Green, lethal as far as the top echelon of wide receivers. Now, if you're not running a theme team, you can still power this guy up and get him up to 96 speed, which isn't too bad, but it's not great. Where he really excels is that spec catching traffic. He'll be really reliable on the outside as well. At 6'4", he can make some plays for you in the end zone. So I like him. I just wish he was a little bit faster. I understand why he's not. If Keenan Allen's going to be 60 or 92 speed, then I'm guessing a guy like AJ Green is 92 speed. But what's kind of ridiculous is in the real life, when you're taking a look at guys like these, it's kind of crazy to think he has 92 speed. It doesn't make sense. You with your eyeballs, you watch him play, and they seem to be a lot faster than what the cards are indicating. But this is a good card in the right situation. I've seen some gameplay with him, and he's actually not that bad. Now to get on to one of the grand finales of this promo, we got ourselves a Melvin Gordon 99 overall. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I was absolutely shocked that Melvin Gordon was selected for the offensive hero. Now, am I thinking that he doesn't have the talent to be recognized as a master? No, I'm absolutely not thinking that. I think he's one of the better running backs in the league. I think he's definitely in your top 5 conversation, no matter what team you root for. I'm just shocked because the Chargers don't seem to get a lot of masters and stuff like that, especially in this year for Madden 19. So it was really refreshing to see Melvin Gordon, the halfback. I saw a lot of backlash from people on Twitter saying, oh man, it wasn't worth it, Melvin Gordon, I get that, but I know where most of your guys' disappointment came in from, and that was definitely from the tie-dye master set that we got last week. If you guys don't remember, tie-dye master wasn't really a master. It was just a method of getting coins, I suppose. So if you had J.J. Watt and Melvin Gordon, you threw them into a set together, and they would give you one card that was quick sellable for 750,000 coins, and one nat card of the opposite, who decided depending on who you chose. So for me, I would have chosen Melvin Gordon as my nat and J.J. Watt as the quick sell. Does that make sense? But there really wasn't an actual player brought into that set to really, put the cherry on top for this promo. Melvin Gordon is sneaky good. He may be even one of the best running backs in the game. At a phase in Madden where it's really easy to get to 99 speed on a lot of different teams, I say Melvin Gordon may actually be the best running back in the game. Now, on the surface, I'll agree with you guys. The 95 speed threw me off a little bit. The 81 catch was really good, but there wasn't really anything on the front side of the card where I was like, why is this a 99 overall card? And then I did some digging around. You guys take a look at his offensive attributes over here. 98 elusiveness stock. 95 break tackle stock. 98 ball carrier vision stock. And then you got like these 98s. All of these are 99s on my team. So I'm just saying 99 stiff arm, spin move, juke move, carry stock. And if you power him up, it doesn't even matter if he's on a theme team. All of these attributes are ridiculously high. And these are the kind of things that you depend on as your user. Like, if we're saying a halfback as your user is always your user. But these are the kinds of attributes that you look at to be dominant at the halfback position. So that's actually really, really crazy. So guys, before you write off Melvin Gordon, if he goes down in price in the next couple of days, I'm understanding that he's super expensive because of picks right now. But as soon as the picks go away, please take a look at Melvin Gordon and try him out. Take a look at my gameplay footage that I put up of him. I put a full, really big clutch game of gameplay footage a couple of days ago, and it was absolutely nuts. Like I said before, 320 offensive yards, kind of disgusting. And it really wasn't even that hard. And I've played a lot of games with Melvin Gordon since I acquired him. And I'm telling you, he puts up 100 plus yards a game if used properly. And a lot of the times he's breaking tackles and making plays on his own. So this is a fantastic master. Guys, don't overlook him. He's a fantastic halfback if you power him up properly. There are better options out there stock, but if you're willing to use him for the capabilities that he brings you on his background attributes, especially ball carry attributes, he's pretty spectacular. One thing that I failed to look at that I'm going to take a live look at right now, I want to take a look at his traits here. I haven't taken a look at Melvin Gordon's traits. All right, so clutch, no. Fights for extra yards, yes, which I have noticed. Doesn't make any of the rack aggressive or possession catches. Does not drop open passes, however, and doesn't have high motor. So I guess the traits don't look great, but just trust me. He's got the MUT force factor. Take a look at the gameplay video and let me know what you guys think, because he's been absolutely just great. Let's take a look at the legends from this last week. This last week is not going to go down in history as one of the better Legends weekends in Madden 19. Let's start with Brian Urlacher. A lot of people were hoping that Brian Urlacher would get a little bit of boost in speed after seeing the work in progress sticker on the reveal, and unfortunately he did not. 89 speed stock at middle linebacker, although he is 6'4", is not great at this point in Madden. You're going to want to add as much as you can to upgrading his speed if you do decide to pick up this guy. I'm not saying he's bad, but for a 99 overall, we were all expecting maybe 90, maybe 91, 92 speed, and we just didn't get it. He's still sitting in the high 80s. If you were to power up this guy, let's say he gets a boost of 5 speed with the power up, with Sprinter, and with Coach Madden, so let's say a plus of 4 speed, he'll be in the 93, 94 echelon, and that's not terrible, but you really are looking for somebody maybe in the 96, 97, even 99 speed range right now with how many fast wide receivers are in the game. His block shed isn't great, his hit power is okay, his zone coverage is fresh, So I'm just not quite sure. Maybe the play rec at 98, 99 will provide a lot of animations and opportunities for big plays for Brian Urlacher, but the jury's still out on this guy. I'm still kind of waiting to see if he's worth the coin at this point. He's definitely not as expensive as a lot of other guys at launch because of the market crash, but I would still maybe take a look out there for some gameplay before considering Brian Urlacher. Next up, we got Dan Marino. This guy is a cause of a lot of controversy in Madden. In a year where mobile quarterbacks are probably more important than they've ever been, you've got a guy coming in with 64 speed, which he might as well just stand still throwing the ball. There's no reason for you to ever take off with Dan Marino. Maybe do a little pocket footwork, but that's about it. There's nothing more you can do mobilely with Dan Marino. However, and I learned this last year thanks to another guy named Buffalo K. He told me, "Cease, just try it out. Try out Dan Marino, see what you think. You don't have to keep him. You know, he's not going to be your starting quarterback forever if you don't like him, and he's definitely not too expensive." And I was like, you know what? Okay, I'll give Dan Marino a shot. I was shocked to find out that my Madden game in general, as an offensive coordinator, whatever you want to call it, went up tremendously after using Dan Marino. The one thing about Dan Marino is that he's the most reliable pocket passer in the game, in my opinion. Since he's been in the game, Dan Marino's been the guy if you're going to be a pocket passer. Okay? What using a pocket passing quarterback means in Madden is it trains you to look for the open man, anticipate routes, really dissect defenses. And this is the guy that kind of taught me to do that. I found myself winning a lot of games with Dan Marino in Madden 18. Kind of crazy. Am I going to try him out this year? Maybe, maybe not. I might try it out just to, see what it's like. But I've already got Phillip Rivers and on a theme team. He's not too far behind Dan Marino. I understand what it's like using a pocket passer in the game. But if you guys are maybe looking to up your level, up your skill set on Madden, I would say roll out with a guy like Dan Marino, if not Dan Marino himself, and really learn how to anticipate routes and you do what a quarterback should be doing in the NFL, which is really, making good decisions and finding the open man. Like, he's a very, very good quarterback to use. Is he the best quarterback to roll out in Madden 19? No, not at all, not even close. But is he the best at what he does? Absolutely. So guys who use Dan Marino, I don't think you're going to be disappointed, especially if you're already a mindset of a pocket passing kind of quarterback guy. Next up, we got DeMarcus Ware, left outside linebacker for the Cowboys. Not bad, not great, but for what he has, he's pretty good. Okay, so 6'4", what you're looking at with DeMarcus Ware. Let's go ahead and take a look at his stats here a little bit deeper. Marcus Ware is more of a 3-4 guy. Yeah, a 99 overall at 3-4. He's going to be able to be upgraded via training points, which are stupid cheap right now in a week, so I would suggest waiting until then. But 89 speed on a theme team, you're looking at 96 speed. Crazy, crazy good. That's almost LT good. Okay, but where this guy really excels, 96 block shed, which is ridiculous. 98 power move, 92 finesse move. That's really good. 80 zone isn't terrible either. That's better than LT, than Lawrence Taylor. So what are you getting out of DeMarcus Ware? I think sneakily, guys, he's kind of the Lawrence Taylor on the opposite side of the line, especially if you have a Cowboys theme team. If you guys have a Cowboys theme team, you may see production similar to what you see out of Lawrence Taylor. Now, the thing DeMarcus Ware doesn't have is the MUT force factor. Lawrence Taylor is perhaps the best card in the game because he has the MUT force factor. He's got the stats, he's got the speed, he's got the block, he's got everything to be dominant and in the height as well. But DeMarcus Ware, on paper, looks like he could be a similar player. So don't overlook this guy. I'm thinking in a week when he's available for training points, if you guys are weak on the left side, I would say try him out. When I first looked at his stats, I almost thought to myself, maybe even though I run, 4-3, maybe I'll add him anyway and just add an extra, rusher on the left side behind Joey Bosa. That would be pretty intense. So I don't know, guys. I'm actually a pretty big fan of this DeMarcus Ware, and I think, especially in the right situation, he could be absolutely dominant for anybody's team. All right? Okay, guys. That's going to wrap it up for how many new cards we got in the game this last week. We're going to touch a little bit on what we think is coming up in the draft promo that we're going to be seeing as soon as Thursday, possibly. If we take a look at the game here, let's go back to the wide real quick. I still have to play mine today, but you guys will notice these paths to the draft solos have been going on for a minute. Every day, if you've been playing this, it's day 25 out of 28. So you should have, if you've been playing them every day, 25 of these collectibles. Now, what I'm thinking is that there's going to be a set that these collectibles go into. For a while, I was thinking, man, maybe on that day, these collectibles are going to be made auctionable, and the goal is to get, one of every single draft pick from the first round, up to 28, which is kind of ridiculous to me because I've been getting a ton of duplicates. But what I think realistically is going to happen, they're going to add another set here, probably not Path to the Draft. It'll probably be a separate thing. And there'll be the, from picks 1 through like maybe 5 will be 99 overalls, and then the next 5 will be 98s, and the next 5 will be 97, and so on and so forth. I think you're going to need a number of picks to acquire those players, is what I'm thinking. If you're low on picks, I'm sure there's going to be maybe like a pack in the store that provides them. I'm thinking, just from raw memory, I'm thinking that it's going to look a lot like, let's see if it's still over here. It's going to be in the archive. It's going to look a lot like the Team of the Year promo, in my opinion, because we're using collectibles. That's the last time I remember using collectibles like this. So if you guys remember here, you needed an X amount of collectibles to earn your random Game of the Year player. I'm thinking the same thing is going to happen with the draft players. And if you're low on those collectibles, there will be other ways to acquire them. And there will also be other ways to acquire the collectibles. So if you guys are wondering, what is that promo going to look like? I'm thinking it's going to look very similar to Team of the Year, and to maybe be prepared on that. If you guys are low on collectibles and you haven't been playing these solos, you could start right now, but I'm guessing you're going to need a pretty significant amount to get any of these cards. If you guys are on a team, let's say like my team, the Chargers, I missed maybe 5 or 6 of these. I'm thinking I will have enough because we have a lower pick, which means that we're going to pick somebody, I think at 28 even. We may even have the very last card in this draft promo because there's only 28 collectibles total. Does that make sense? So in that case, we're going to need less collectibles because he's probably going to be like a 94 or 93 overall, which is kind of sucky, but at the same time, that just means we had a good year last year. So just be prepared for that, guys. I think the draft is going to be actually pretty huge. It's a pretty decent promo considering that pretty much every team gets a card every year. The rate on how good the cards are, it kind of depends, but I think every team for the most part is going to be happy, and every team's going to have a brand new player they're excited to add to the game. So Thursday's going to be a big day for everybody that's a Chargers, or I'm sorry, an NFL fan and a Madden fan, because you're going to have brand new cards coming in and brand new players coming into your IRL teams. And I think that's pretty much going to do it, guys. A little bit short of an episode of MUT Force this week, but there wasn't a lot going on this week as far as content is concerned. I think next week we're going to see a huge outburst of content, and rounds 2 through 3 are going to be happening over the weekend as well. So we'll be keeping an eye out what's going on MUT Force and with the draft, and hopefully we have an in-depth analysis of some of those budget guys that we see, because there's usually some really glitchy guys even in the later rounds. Last season, Tremaine Edmonds, a middle first-round pick, was absolutely fantastic as a user for pretty much the rest of the year. So we're hoping to see somebody like that. Names like DK Metcalf could become one of the better wide receivers in the game, just simply because he reads stat-wise, height-wise, like a really good wide receiver in-game. Will he be the same IRL? Probably not, but he's going to be a really cool receiver to use in Madden specifically. Again, guys, let us know in the comment section below, who do you think your team is going to pick? Put your predictions down there. Hopefully, I'm going to make one for the Chargers. I think the Chargers, if we don't have somebody fall down to us like an Ed Oliver, I think it's going to be Dexter Lawrence, defensive tackle from Clemson. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. This has been the Director, and as always, stay frosty.
Last chance, 4th and long, finding the will to bolt up. Bundle up, cause you know we stay frosty. I take my frosty, chocolate, vanilla, or swirl. MUT Master YouTuber, come on, let's give it a whirl. MUT Madden Twitch streamer, put the snowman to shame. Staying frosty's the only way we stay alive in this game. They're reffing the match, directors directing the game. Scared of my underdog team, you know them gods will be slain.